And Martin, you're known for playing intimidating roles because you're in this as Goliath, and you're also in the upcoming Mortal Kombat 2 as Shao Kahn. And I was wondering for you if these type of characters have helped you in your just everyday life of just being an imposing figure.
No.
Nerd Reactor, roll out.
How's it going, guys?
Hey,
Yeah,
Shao,
very well,
what's
thank you.
going on?
All right. So, first question, I want to go to Michael. You get to play David, young shepherd, musician who becomes a hero for slaying Goliath. And so it's like the ultimate underdog story. And I was wondering if you ever felt like in your profession, just a sense of intimidation and powering through that.
Yeah, absolutely. I've had I wouldn't say intimidation, but I've felt like the underdog pretty much like all my life. I remember I did a musical in high school, and it was my first ever musical. And my mom came and saw it, and she said, "Michael, that was terrible. Please don't ever do that again. I know you have some talent, but you didn't show any of it on stage tonight." And I was like, "Okay, watch, watch. I'm gonna prove it to you. Next year, I'm gonna do a musical and I'm gonna play the lead." And she's like, "Michael, please don't embarrass yourself." I'm like, "No, no, I'm gonna do it." Um, and then next year, I auditioned for the school musical. This is in high school, by the way. Um, and I got the role, and eventually, I think like it was like 4 months later when the show finally was released, I won Best Actor in my county.
Oh,
Um,
yeah. All right. I love that.
Proved to my mom, I was like, "Mom, I think I could do this." Uh, but I guess
Uh,
that was an underdog moment, proving to my mom that this is something I really loved and I was passionate about.
so your mom was Goliath.
I love my mom to
Sounds like
death,
I
by
love your mom. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
the
So
sounds
okay.
like your mum spoke a lot of sense.
way.
And Martin, you're known for playing intimidating roles because you're in this as Goliath, and you're also in the upcoming Mortal Kombat 2 as Shao Kahn. And I was wondering for you if these type of characters have helped you in your just everyday life of just being an imposing figure.
No. I mean, I still suffer the same hardships that everyone else does. I have three children, a 4-year-old, 7-year-old, and a 12-year-old, and I'm still being bullied by all of those. So I've tried to pick some of the traits that Shao and Goliath bring to the table, and unfortunately, I'm struggling to put that into play in the real world.
And I think one of my favorite lines in the show, there's a line that Samuel says to Jesse about like, it is this that God requires of us to give what we love the most. So for me, I take it as sacrificing something for the greater good. And I was wondering for each of you if there was something like you had to sacrifice, like in terms of acting or even bodybuilding, where it's like, you know what, I'm gonna just back off and then have something else, just I don't know, so, whatever collaboration, just grow out of that.
I mean,
Yeah,
sacrifice for
go ahead, go ahead.
me massively would be the hardest sacrifice of all, to see my children as much as I should have over the last 18 months. With not only working in Australia for Mortal, and then previously to that, in Rome for Those About to Die, and then flying straight out to Greece. There was pretty much three massive productions for me back to back. And it was a hard decision. It was a hard choice. It really was. And I think there's not many careers and there's not many jobs in the world that would you know have that power and pull, that would make that decision so difficult, because normally, if it was between seeing my children and doing a job, children would win 10 times out of 10. But there's just something about acting that, it gives you this incredible feeling and opportunity to not only do something that brings you to life and gives you a purpose in your own life. For me, the way I looked at that sacrifice was, I am missing some incredibly important years for my children, but not only am I allowing to set them up in something financially with the rewards of being, in this industry, but I'm leaving something for them that they can have forever. And for their dad to be playing the roles of Shao Kahn and Goliath and some incredible stories, and the sense of pride that they have from that was worth the sacrifice. And I deliberately took 6 months off post the filming of the Goliath just so I can have some quality time with them again. But that was definitely a sacrifice that was it was a hard decision, but a decision ultimately that's led to the greater good.
I would say along the same lines, it's time. Time is the most valuable currency ever. And by sacrificing our time, we are sacrificing everything that we have. Um, yeah.
All right. Well, yeah, thanks a lot for taking the time to do the interview. And I can't wait for everyone else to check out The House of David. And yeah, it's been a pleasure.
Thanks
Thank
so
you
much.
so much, John. Take care, buddy.
All right. Take care.